Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent, and welcome, Trey. Oh, nope. Trey is not here this week.
Crickets.
That guy. Oh, man. Another week away. He's at a bachelor party. So, Trey, we miss you. We'll still make fun of you, but that's no big deal. So, welcome, Trent.
Hi. Glad to be here. I'm loyal. I show up for work, No, I'm just kidding.
Two hosts. I'd like to point out two numbers. 15 days until college football game, 27 days until NFL football game. So we are under a month for both, almost under 2 weeks for college football, which I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not Maction, but that's fine.
That's okay. That's okay. I know it's how many days did you say?
It's 15 for college, 27 for NFL. If you want to look at our little ticker there, Trent, it does show there.
Oh, thank you.
Yep,
I know with the 15, that means week 0 for college football.
Correct.
But I was even looking ahead at some like big time conference games and stuff, and I was you do it hit you right in the feels. I saw August 31st, and I'm sitting here tonight on my couch, and I'm like, that is 22 days away from just being able to wake up, turn the coffee maker on, get a little breakfast going, turn college game day on.
As I said, I feel like you did set the scene for this a couple weeks ago.
And last year I did. Last year I did a little.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
As I said, did a little intro to the college football season. It just. Oh, yeah. I love it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think from all the years of going to your college games and then playing in college as well, and it was like you never really had that opportunity to sit there on Saturdays and just soak it all in and watch literally football all day. I mean, you could literally watch some back then, not this year, some Pac-12 football up until about like 1 a.m. But I hate wishing away time and days and weeks, but I'm like, let's get there. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to start watching real football and not. Don't get me wrong, I love baseball, but baseball's long throughout the summer.
It is long. It is very long. We are definitely in that point of the time where it's like, all right, you got a preseason game, which you all jacked up for, and all of a sudden you watch it, you're like, all right, it's not football yet. But I don't know. Baseball is kind of hitting stride a little bit too. You got some teams showing up for the playoffs. There's obviously some competition right now, which we're going to talk NFL football here first, and then we'll get into some baseball stuff. But
and Tyler, with this preseason tonight, as a Tennessee Volunteers fan, you got to actually kind of be enjoying this. I mean, Hendon Hooker back in action, and then you got Joe Milton tonight with a nice touchdown pass. He looks all right. I mean,
I'm going to tell you this. I know. I know I've talked to you about this personally is the fact that there's like rumblings at all in Patriots camp about Drake May being overshined by Milton. And like I said, don't get me wrong, like Joe Milton's a very exciting guy. Okay. He's not an NFL quarterback. The guy can throw 4 miles in the air, but he's not an NFL quarterback. Is he a guy that maybe you make, maybe a package of some sort for, maybe some special package, maybe, I don't know, hell, make him a wide receiver and like run some double pass shit where, you get him on the edge and have him throw a bomb. Yes, maybe that's the guy. But like for people to actually sit there and say, well, Joe Milton's actually giving Drake May a run for his money. And don't get me wrong, I'm not on the Drake May camp at all. Like, I think Drake May probably going to struggle this year. I think the Patriots are going to be pretty down this year. Hence, Brandon Ayuk not wanting to go there for $32 million.
Yeah, what's that about? Jeez.
Dude. Like, so, without, I guess we can kind of, if you don't mind, we can transition into that kind of whole thing, because that's the big news right now. And as a Niners guy, I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing about it. It's either, I'm at the point right now where it's either, shit or get off the pot. I think that's the saying. Either get into camp, start running routes and catching balls, or get the hell away. Like, just leave. Because let's stop being a prima donna. All right. It was not this bad with Debo. It was not this bad with Bosa. All right. None of these guys, made it like this as he is. There's a lot of social media drama, which I can't stand. All right. Oh, let me post this. Let me be incognito about this. Let me post this little cryptic message about this. Like, let's stop being cryptic. I understand it's a business, but I also will sit here as a Niners fan who thinks that Brandon Ayuk is our number one receiver. Okay. But I'm at the point right now where I think the Niners are calling his bluff by saying, listen, we got deals that we like with the Browns. We got deals we like with the Patriots. So Brandon Ayuk, go pick your team. All right. Between the Browns and the Patriots. And that's it. And good riddance. And now all of a sudden you want to bring the Steelers back in the mix, right? And you want to bring in, the Raiders and Commanders, like, no. There's not going to be a deal between the Steelers. No matter how many Steeler fans out there want to think that it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Because 49ers will say, no. Unless you're giving us your number one receiver, Brandon, and like 3 first-round draft picks, Steelers. I mean,
okay. Well, that's a little bit of heavy on the compensation, but I do agree. I think the hold up with the Steelers deal is definitely right now the wide receiver compensation.
Yeah.
It sounds like the Niners definitely want one in return. And when you think about it, I'm trying to think of who they have.
Pickens.
It's Pickens. I mean, and if Pickens is your number one, that's who the Niners have to get in return. But then again, like, I don't know as a Niners fan if I really even think that's a straight up fair trade. A Pickens for Ayuk right now. So
it's not.
I don't know, man. Here's what it comes down to. All the things that you're saying you're frustrated with outside of the social media, which is once again just this stupid day and age, right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth is agents have figured out that holding in is best for their clients.
Yeah.
Because now they avoid the fines.
Mm-hmm.
They avoid it is the fines. And now they can just kind of hang around the facility and essentially not practice and eventually try to get their way. And it's, you look at Jordan Love did it. Oh, but that was good. That was just being a good teammate.
No, wait. Whoa.
Sorry.
No, he's not here.
That was Judon. Judon's trying to get paid. He's holding in. So this holding in crap, it soon, I think what's going to happen is the owners are going to sit there and say, if a guy is refusing, if he is not medically or physically, I should say, unable to participate, then we can still fine him. If you're just going to show up to avoid it and be like, yeah, but I'm around for team activities, it's like
it's a loophole.
Bullshit. They're paying you. They're paying you to do your job. But yes, you are an athlete. Yes, teams make a lot of money off athletes, but it's your job. If I just sit there and say, "Hey, boss, I'm going to show up to work, but I'm just not going to do my work." Sound good? I'm not going to get my paycheck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's a very frustrating time, but I do think, tip of the cap to the agents and the players because they figured out a way around the system in that sense.
Yep, for sure.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm not on the owner's side. Like I always want the players to get their money, but it's just this. But I think you're right. The frustrating point right now is I'm so sick of every single time I get on X, and it is breaking news. Ayuk looking like going to this team. Oh, breaking news. Ayuk's going to, and then you sit there and bring up him going to the Raiders for Devontae Adams.
And and a 3-way pick. And dude, it's absurd.
I mean, if it happens, it happens, but come on. Like it's a stretch.
It's also a lot of people on X, trying to get clout and trying to get clicks and trying to get paid and trying to get, and that's also part of the problem too. So
we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping it's soon over. The only thing that I would say that was a very interesting, maybe slip up, maybe it was a little bit of a jab or a little shot, was I thought McCaffrey's comment when he referred to him as like my former teammate.
Yeah, that was odd. That struck me as a little bit odd
Yeah.
Because very rarely would you ever. I don't know. I don't know if I would ever sit there and be like, hey, a former teammate, like, especially like when you just played with him a couple months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is former that much in his mind, or is there something? I don't know. It was odd. I agree with you on that.
I mean, maybe that's where they soon just have to get the best they can for him, because I mean, can the Niners just say, "Hey, we're trading you," or does he have a no trade clause?
So he has a no trade clause. Is what I'm kind of understanding, just because San Fran, and that's why. But here's the thing: is that's why I said I think San Fran's calling his bluff. Where San Fran's like, yo, hey, listen, we have a trade that we like with the Browns. We have a trade we like with the Patriots. We like the compensation already, so go pick. And when you turn down, because San Fran's been offering $26 million, okay,
Jeez.
the Patriots offered him $32 million, and he turned it down. So what is it about? Is my question then? You know what I mean? So it's obviously not. It's not necessarily the money. He wants a contender. He wants his cake and eat it too. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not a big fan of, Colin Cowherd or whatever, but he made a good point though. He said, let's look at Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill got his money, but when it comes time to be relevant, which is in the postseason, Tyreek Hill is a nobody anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that was well said. And so, Brandon Ayuk, be careful what you wish for. Go be irrelevant, but go get paid. Whatever you choose, man. That's your choice.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
well, the only other thing before we move on from the Niners is I think the more important person to get there is Trent Williams. However, I think that's one of those things where you're a lineman and he's 36. So it's probably even more of, hey, we have your deal, but they might be scratching his back right now as well by saying, hey, we're going to give you this and we're not going to push you through so you can just kind of sit out training camp. I mean, no need.
Sure.
That guy doesn't need the reps that much unless it would be like a new line coach or brand new whole offensive line that he's got to get used to working with. But
right. He knows the system. I
fine.
agree. I'm not too worried about that.
So sticking in the NFC, I thought the interesting quote of today was down there with which I just don't get this guy anymore, is Jerry Jones. I don't get it.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I don't get it. You sit there and he's asked the question about, getting CD Lamb under contract, working that out. And he goes, I'm in no hurry or I'm in no rush.
Yeah.
And, it is interesting because now back to the social media response is literally CD Lamb takes down all association with the Cowboys and just posts LOL in response to that. So it's like, I did like Dak Prescott getting on the mic and sitting there saying, well, I'm going to say I am in a rush. Like, I do want to hurry that because, that's him having his boys back. But also Dak understands, like, hey, I'm kind of going to be in a pretty crappy situation if I don't have CD Lamb there, because he had a breakout. He had a breakout season. And that's the thing is, especially like that guy where you sit there and say, hey, I'm going to bet on myself and I'm going to force them to give me big money now, top wide receiver. CD Lamb did it. CD Lamb did that last year. He's
for sure.
He's a top 5. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
And then I think it's going to be weird to see what they end up paying Dak, because I'll take Dak with the Raiders. I'm not a Dak hater, but I'm just like, do you really want to overpay for Dak? But I mean, if Jordan Love's getting that money off of 1 year, and if Trevor Lawrence is getting it, I mean, Dak has, I'm not going to say he's better than Jordan Love, but Dak has proven himself more to be at least a winner in not in the postseason, but regular season. Definitely better regular season and postseason than Trevor Lawrence. So,
for sure. And look at the kind of money that Trevor Lawrence is making.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like, come on.
The
I don't know. I mean,
unfair.
It is. And this, again, going back to what you had said about the CD Lamb stuff, like, I'm almost to the point now where like it almost seems a little bit comical. Like, is Jerry Jones actively trying to sabotage, the Cowboys. I mean, that's honestly the way it feels sometimes with some of his statements and, some of his offseason moves and some of the things that he's actually done. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you actually doing? To sit there, I'm in no rush. And again, I agree with your comment with Dak. Like, you want to build timing. Like, this is the time right now where, hey, let's get on the same page. All right. Cowboys haven't, made it far in the playoffs since how long?
Yep.
It's kind of, Dallas, hey, let's look good on the surface, but at the same time, we still suck.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't been sold on Dak for a long time.
Dallas doesn't suck. Can't say that. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure they won their division, right? Last year. They've been in the playoffs the past like 3 years. Now I know, well, okay, just making the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But really in the past 2 seasons, anybody that sits there and says their team is good because they won playoff games, but then won a Super Bowl, like I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not on that hating of the Cowboys for some reason.
I am.
Part of it for me is like I don't know. I think my dislike for Nick Sirianni is what prevents me from hating them too much. Like, because I want somebody to push Sirianni's teams. Like I don't. I want him.
And I wish it was the Giant, and I wish it was Washington or the Giants. I wish,
yeah,
like, I do. I agree with that with Sirianni. So a conversation came up earlier this week with a couple other guys, that we've been working with. If you had to take a quarterback right now, all right, to lead your team, would you take Dak Prescott or would you take Jalen Hurts?
Oof. I think I'm taking Jalen Hurts
to lead your team.
Yeah,
to win games and lead your team, or just to lead your team?
To lead my team. And the only reason I like the option of having Jalen Hurts is I think durability. Dak has broken the ankle. Dak has broken the thumb. So I think with the Jalen Hurts essentially being a running back / quarterback, me personally as an offensive guy, that's what I would like.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. I don't know. It's tough for me because on one hand, I don't feel like Jalen Hurts can win the big game. But on the other hand, I also don't feel like Dak can win the big game either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hurts technically has won more big games than Dak.
Right. And
in both college and NFL.
I feel like though, if you ask the majority of the people, I feel like majority of the people would pick Dak.
Maybe. I don't think so. It's a poll question. There we go. We got our poll question time.
All right, we'll put that poll out there on
and hey, and listeners, tweet a reply on one of our posts for the episode. I'd like to know Hurts or Prescott to start your franchise and lead your team.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. All right, you have anything NFL here, Tim?
Yeah.
Any other thing? Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's been an interesting.
Wait, let me hold that thought. I'd like to give a Richard Pop Top shout out.
There it is.
There you go, Richard. Cheers.
So, 9 out of the past 10 seasons. All right, 9 out of the past 10 seasons. In the NFL, there has been a team, at least one, that has gotten last in their division the year before, and then the next year has gotten first. So, in other words, 9 out of the last 10 years, that 10 seasons, we have seen a worst to first.
Okay.
And my question to you,
at least one team in the division, you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. I think there's one glaring obvious one that you're going to right away pick. Okay. But I would like to also maybe, okay, you can say them. I think you will say them. But I would also like, if you do say them, to pick a different one too. Like, just like on a whim. All right, so I'm gonna read you off the teams that have gotten the worst last year, right? That finished last in the divisions. So we are at AFC right now. We have Patriots, Chargers, Bengals, and Titans.
Okay.
And then if you would like the NFC,
I would.
In the NFC, we got the Commanders, the Cardinals, the Bears, and the Panthers.
Wow.
It's tough, isn't it? Because 9 out of last 10 years now, there's been a worse to first.
Whew. You said, man, and you're asking me, do I think a team will do that?
I want to know who will do that. I want your prediction.
Just give you one team. Yeah. I mean, off the cuff. Whew. Oh man. It's hard, but I would actually say the team that probably has the best chance is the Bengals.
That's what I thought you would say.
I mean, the Bengals have. I don't think the Patriots will. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Chargers have potential, but you're also in with the Chiefs, so there's that whole thing. I think the Bears may repeat as last place in the North. I don't see the Panthers really making much moves. I don't think the Cardinals will win the NFC West. I think they won't be last. And then, I mean, the Titans are in a tough spot too, just because they got the Texans.
Yeah.
And not just the Texans, but they also have the Colts, who, again, you go back to Anthony Richardson. I do think Anthony Richardson is going to have a pretty stellar season. But
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. Of those, I would say Bengals.
All right.
Is that who you would say too?
That would be the team that I would say is the obvious glaring choice to take. Like if you had to put money on it, that's got to be the team to take. I think,
but still, Ravens got better.
Yes,
that's tough.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, you want to know the team that I'm going to pick that I would say would have the opportunity to surprise people? Yeah, because I said if you can't pick the Bengals, which I think we're both on, Bengals are the obvious choice to take.
Sure.
If I had to pick one team to do it,
go ahead.
Commanders.
That's what's funny is that's who I would have said second is Commanders.
Yeah. I mean, I think you got the wild card with Jaden Daniels there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very big wild card.
Yeah. He's kind of like the Richardson of last year, why everybody was kind of big on the Colts.
Yeah.
Saying how much of a freak athlete he is. And it could. I mean, it could happen.
I mean, and honestly, a lot of people could make the argument for the Patriots. Because, while the Dolphins have Tyreek Hill and Tua and everything else, the Jets have Rodgers. I don't know. Patriots can make some noise. I mean, the Bills have Josh Allen, but I don't know. Yeah. Are they gonna be, listening to 9/11 speeches from their head coach? I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. Jeez. So let me flip.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's flip the script on this. So I'm not saying there's no statistics saying that this happens as often, but what would you say about a first to a worst?
Do you have the first place teams?
Yep, I got you. Ready? Okay. So NFC, Cowboys were first, Niners, Lions, and Buccaneers.
Okay.
And remember, this is for going from first to last in their division.
Right.
In the AFC, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Texans.
Ooh. It's got to be the Bills.
Got to be the Bills?
Got to be the Bills because the Bills lost a lot. And I don't know. I just don't feel like the Bills improved enough. I feel like the Bills were where they were at, where they were kind of like, oh, it's the Bills. They're going to have a chance to actually win a Super Bowl finally, and they just couldn't. And I feel like they got worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. Man. It is super tough.
I mean, you could also make the argument for the Buccaneers because I feel like the NFC South is just like last year when we did our preview episode. I feel like the NFC South is such a toss-up. But I have trouble seeing anybody being lower than the Panthers again though this year.
Yeah. I'm with you kind of on the Bills. I mean, I know everyone loves because he's like a goofball and good personality on social media, but that wide receiver that they took, the Bills,
yeah,
I don't think he's. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I just don't see him being like. You lost Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And to be quite, I mean, I can't think of off the top of my head who their running back is, but what you said, how they got worse. I agree. I think they almost started to do a rebuild while keeping their centerpiece, Josh Allen, there.
Yeah, and who was what was the one safety they lost too?
I think they lost both their safeties.
I mean,
pretty sure they've lost both.
Is Knox still there as their tight end?
He is there, but don't forget, I believe Dalton Kincaid is probably going to be their number one. He'll be his second year out of Utah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So first to worst to first. The worst to first has shown 9 out of last 10 seasons. So I think we'll look back on it and see what happens here. But you and I both say the Bengals, obviously, but I don't see that happening. I think the Ravens are going to be way too good in there. But and then we're both on the Commanders potentially. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Trent, I just got a text from Trey saying that he did want to call in here and give some input on the NFL. So hang on, let me add him in because he just called in. Oh, Trey. Okay. What's he say there?
How the hell did you do that?
What? Okay, so Trey says Brock Purdy will definitely be the MVP this season.
Wow.
Put it on my beer tab. And he says, I love the 49ers this season. Wow.
Trey, you had such a change of heart.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see that one coming. Wow.
Man,
Hey, Trey, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yeah.
See you, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
Enjoy those robots.
Have a good one, Trey.
Actually, well, I actually thought it was really going to be him. And I'm like, wait a second. That's his background and everything. He is calling in. Holy hell. Oh, man.
Dude, I can't believe he called. No, I can't believe he called in.
Yeah. All right, Tom. I want to do some
pretty serious setup on my end.
Wow. I want to do some rapid fires. Little gambling aspects for some futures here. Ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
And I could either just let you do one of two things. I could read you the top 4 people for these.
Okay.
But this is stat leaders for the NFL.
Okay.
All right. Stat leaders for the NFL. So I could read you the top 4 on odds, or you could just simply name the quarterback off the top of your head, and I could tell you if they're on the top list.
Okay. Okay.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Well, tell me the stat first.
Okay. It's going to be ready. First one, most regular season passing yards.
All right. Yeah. Give me the top 4.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff.
Ooh.
Do you need me to read you the top 6?
No.
And you could even just say other, anybody outside of those 4. That's too easy. Pick one.
Now oh man. If CeeDee Lamb signs, I'd say Dak, but I'm gonna go with Jared Goff.
I like it. I would take out of those 4. I think I would take Goff. But the one that's kind of tied with Goff on odds that I could see happening too is Tua. I think Tua could have some serious pass yards.
I think Tua was the crown last year.
Yeah, if he stays healthy.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Next one, and these I'm not giving the odds, but the odds that I'm naming or the people that I'm naming, this is all via DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yep.
Most regular season passing touchdowns.
Okay. Go ahead.
Need the top four?
Yeah, just read the top four.
Mahomes, Prescott, Stroud, Burrow.
Ooh. Who's the next two?
Purdy, Allen.
Ooh.
Then Cousins, Tua, Rodgers, Love.
I would stay away from Cousins because I think Big Penix energy will end up starting there.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Oh, man. I'll go Mahomes just because he has Kelsey.
Okay. I'm gonna go Burrow.
That's who I wanted to go.
Okay. Burrow, you actually get some pretty good value there at plus 1,100.
Really, to be wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He has so many question marks though too with his receivers.
I agree.
Like that's what I mean. Like look, Dak's got question marks. You know, Purdy's got a question mark with Ayuk. His cousin's gonna start. Burrow has two question. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that are still up in the air. That's just frustrating.
Yeah.
But
all right, next one. Most regular season rush yards. I'm gonna name you the top. I'm just gonna name you the top 10. McCaffrey, Taylor, Barkley, Hall, Henry, Williams, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Achane, and Gibbs.
That's pretty easy for me. That's totally CMC, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, McCaffrey plus 275. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry.
That's not bad. I mean, if he does stay healthy, it'd be hard to argue with that.
Yeah,
because he kind of is.
Last year it was his first injury year. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I'm not saying because of that. I'm just saying in general, like it's a new team.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see because that's kind of one of those situations where it's a new environment and most people want to expect that you're going to be the same person as you were. I don't know.
We I just lost our 3-0 for the day.
Yep, just saw that. That sucks.
Yep. So most regular season rushing touchdowns.
Ooh.
McCaffrey, Henry, Taylor, Mostert.
McCaffrey, Taylor, Henry, Mostert.
Those are top four. Ready? And then Hurts, Allen, Barkley, Kyron Williams, Hall, and Robinson.
Hold on. Hurts and Allen are ahead of Barkley?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go with a surprise one here. I'm going to say Taylor.
Okay. Jonathan Taylor. I like it.
I think Jonathan Taylor has a bounce back year this year. Last year was the contract issues and everything else. Yeah. I think
plus 1,400.
That's pretty good value.
It's not a bad sprinkle.
Yeah.
All right. Receiving yards. Hill, Lamb, Chase, Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave.
Shoo. I mean, it's hard to pick against Hill because I feel like every year he could have almost 2,000 yards. But I am going with generational talent this year, regardless of the quarterback, Sam Darnold or not. I'm going with Justin Jefferson.
Dude, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be...
Is it crazy? Is it good
I'm
value?
going to be plus 1,000.
What? To lead the league in receiving yards. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I honestly, I'm not kidding you. I think he does that with whoever the quarterback is.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going on and betting it. I will bet it. Yeah.
Dude.
All right. And I think this is, because I saved a special one. Receiving touchdowns. Hill, Lamb, Chase, Jefferson, Brown, Wilson, St. Brown, Evans, Watson, Moore, DJ Moore.
This one's going to be a little bit different from me. This one might not be one that you would think I'd pick. I'm going with St. Brown.
I'm going to run St. Brown. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like he's had, I think last year he had quite a few multiple touchdown games.
I like that.
So, and he got his money, so he's going to be playing hard. So,
I think I got to go. My lean, even though I think they're going to, I don't think it's going to happen, is either Jamar Chase or Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson with the Jets.
Yeah. I would bet, I would put money on Chase, though, before him.
Yeah. Yeah. Garrett Wilson, I think if he doesn't have Rodgers, then that bet is shit in the bed. But if he does have A-Rod all season, I think, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You can get your St. Brown pick for plus 1,400. All right.
It's not bad.
Last but not least, this is one of your go-to props from time to time. Interceptions thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Who will lead it? Which always surprises me because, like, the favorite for this is actually a pretty good quarterback. A really good quarterback.
It's also probably because they throw so often.
Yeah. Josh Allen
is number one.
Yeah. Followed by
pretty terrible season last year.
Yeah. I'm just kind of surprised like the Raiders quarterback isn't on there, like higher. But anyway, it's Allen, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Will Levis, Derek Carr, Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, and then Jordan Love.
Whew. Who was second there, Trent? Who'd you say second?
Jaden Daniels.
Third. Who was third?
Caleb Williams.
That's who I'm going with.
Caleb Williams. Plus 1,000.
Yep.
I'm going to go Bo Nix plus 1,200.
It's not a bad pick. I mean, I was thinking about that too, especially in that division. Because that's the other thing you have to look at too, is look at the defenses that they're going to play against twice a year. And you're going against the Chiefs defense, the Raiders defense, and you could even make the argument that the Chargers defense, it's not a bad pick.
Stafford, there's one that we usually take some from time to time.
And it's funny is that's who I almost picked.
Yeah.
I almost said Stafford, but I don't know. I have a bad feeling that Stafford's not going to make it the entire season. So,
ooh, really?
Nah, I'm Mr. Quarterback, injury guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that every year, but I don't know. I feel like he's getting at that age now too, where playing full season is going to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I have one other quick thing that I thought jumped out to me. Sure. Not really it's not a betting one here, but there's a lot of talk of Dak Prescott, obviously, and then obviously early on in training camp with the sickness, Lamar Jackson. And I guess the comments on this or the take on this is Lamar Jackson deserves some of the heat that Dak Prescott gets for not being a pressure-winning quarterback. When you compare the two side by side, a lot of people say, well, yeah, Lamar has MVPs, which kind of like hides his poor playoff performance. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott is 2-5 in the playoffs. Jackson is 2-4.
Okay.
Their total QBRs in the postseason, 67 for Dak, 53 for Lamar. Dak has 18 total touchdowns and 7 turnovers, where Lamar Jackson has 9 total touchdowns and 9 turnovers.
Okay.
So MVP guy, Lamar Jackson, okay, great. But, we talk about being able to win the big game, and Lamar's got some work to do. I don't know. That just something that jumped out to me.
I'm glad it finally jumped out to you because I said that all last year.
Yeah.
All last year about Lamar. I was like, that's fine. Lamar can do this. Lamar can do that. But when it comes down to playoffs, there's a playoff Lamar that shows up. And you know what it is, though? It's not that he's a bad football player. It's not even that he's a bad quarterback. It's that he tries to do too much. And he doesn't let his team win the game. He tries to win the game himself. And then it's almost like he puts so much pressure on himself.
Tyler, but I feel like he tries to win the game himself, but I always feel like he tries to win the game by using his arm more than his legs. Whereas in the regular season, he runs, right? Like that loss against the Chiefs last year, he held the ball, and never ran. Where in the regular season, he would have rushed for 200 some yards in that game, the amount of space that he was given. So it's like, it's almost like he changes his style once it gets to the postseason, and that's the most frustrating thing. But I'm still, I will place my one future Super Bowl winner bet, and it will be on the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year.
That's so stupid.
I mean, I could give you my reason straight up now, or I could save my reason for when we do our rankings for the divisions. But
I mean, you can give me a little sample as to why, because I'm kind of confused. But
Derrick Henry is the main reason.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a running back like a Derrick Henry.
It's always been committee
since Lamar's been there. I know, I agree with you, but I still don't think that's going to make as much of a difference, because it's going to go back to the fact that Lamar is going to try to do too much, and that is what it is. And because here's the other thing is that I wouldn't consider Derrick Henry a check down back. So Lamar gets pressured. Who's he going to check down to? No, he's going to try to scramble. He's going to try to run. All right. And, unless you're handing the ball off to Henry and letting him just play smash mouth football, I just don't see that happening. I don't see John Harbaugh doing that. And that's a guy that some people have now talked about, John Harbaugh, that needs to be a little bit more evaluated, because can John Harbaugh win the big game?
He's got a Super Bowl.
He's got two. One. You're right. One. But that's what I'm saying, though, is now you get into, because I know a lot of, as an Orioles fan, I keep seeing now the comparisons of Brandon Hyde and John Harbaugh's looks in the playoffs. They're like, well, Brandon Hyde has the same face that John Harbaugh does in the playoffs. It must be a Baltimore thing. I'm like, oh shit. Hopefully not. But I don't know. It's something to keep an eye on. Plus, Baltimore did lose Patrick Queen, so that's a big loss.
Yeah, but there are other backer that they got from the Bears. Roquan Smith? He's the guy. He's the guy. We'll see. I'm anxious. Obviously, we're just anxious for the season to start. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Only other thing that I would like to just bring up here is the NFL top 10. This is, again, ranked by the players now. Officially did come out since our last podcast. I know we were up to 11. You had 6 offensive guys and 4 defensive guys. I'm trying to like to point out the fact that your boy came in at number 10, Max Crosby.
Heck yeah, Max.
Number 9 was Travis Kelce. Number 8, TJ Watt. 7, Trent Williams. 6, Chris Jones. 5, Myles Garrett. 4, Patrick Mahomes. 3, Christian McCaffrey. 2, Lamar Jackson. And 1 was Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill, I don't know if anybody saw anything on X and stuff, but Tyreek Hill was the first wide receiver ever to be in the number 1 spot in the top 100. Gonna say that I disagree with it, but that's just me.
100%.
I mean, if I look at the top 3 of Lamar, Tyreek Hill, and Christian McCaffrey, I got to put McCaffrey at number 1. And that, I might be a little bit biased, but the guy's a game changer. He throws, he passes, he catches, and throws, passing. He throws, he catches, and he runs. He does everything.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're going to rank somebody based on the amount of talent that you have, it's got to be McCaffrey. But
yeah, and the other glaring thing that I would even say is I think it's outrageous to have Lamar in front of Mahomes. 2
spots above Mahomes.
To be the top, I'm sorry, once again, but he's the MVP, blah, blah, blah. What is more impressive, an MVP or going back-to-back Super Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know. It's outrageous, and I hate it because the one thing it does is it gives friggin' Patrick Mahomes bulletin board
Or
material.
yeah. Yep.
And it's like, we don't need that. Just especially as a Raiders fan, we don't need that. Like, just doing that stupid Kermit thing to like, what the hell? So, but two things I love about it. Obviously, Crosby being in the top 10. The other thing I love about it is seeing an offensive lineman in the top 10.
Trent Williams 7, man, that was awesome.
So
I'll tell you what surprised me a little bit there too is the fact that they had two defensive players above TJ Watt. And that was Chris Jones and Myles Garrett. So to see those two both above, I understand TJ Watt's dealt with some injuries and stuff, but I also feel like every year I feel like, the world is about TJ Watt until he gets hurt. You know what I mean? So I'm
running the family.
I know, right? I would say I could see Myles Garrett being ahead of him, especially because Myles Garrett does now have a Defensive Player of the Year award, which I believe TJ Watt does not have yet. But having Chris Jones ahead of him surprised me a little bit. But again, it might be a Super Bowl thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I did like to see. I'm impressed that Max Crosby got it in the top 10. Like, because he's a guy that I feel like he gets undervalued by a lot of the critics. It's looked over.
It's the team he plays for.
He's
on a playoff
game
team,
changer.
But if he's on a playoff team, you're right. He's probably. I mean, at one point in time, I would have said statistically he should have been ahead of TJ Watt, and at one point, about halfway through the season, he was ahead of Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year.
Sure.
But it goes back to, is your team winning games?
That's fair.
But so it's all right. We're top 10, I'll take it. And that's a fourth, fifth rounder there out of Eastern Michigan.
Paid off, man. That's for sure.
It's a Raider for life. Let's make that happen.
All right. Well,
do you want to venture into the current season?
Oh, I guess we have to, huh?
That's good. We'll keep it short and sweet to the point. A couple little strike ball and wild pitch, I guess, here, huh?
Yeah. I will say to our listeners that we did actually discuss the possibility of just being strictly all Orioles baseball. We decided against it. So we will talk. We'll talk teams. We'll talk other teams.
Yeah. I'll be short and sweet with the strike here.
Go ahead.
My strike is a team that I think is finally starting to play like their payroll says they should be, and that is the San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres have now gone, I believe, on a 7-game win streak at one point, and then they're currently on a 5-game win streak. In their last 16 games, they're actually 14-2. So they are 12 games now above 500. So the Padres on the West Coast are a team to look out for. It looks like they will definitely be a wild card. They're definitely not going to they're not going to surpass the Dodgers. That'd be almost a wild pitch. But I will say that, you can actually, from a gambling perspective, you can actually still get some pretty good value on a lot of their straight up money lines, because they've been kind of mediocre for quite some time, but they're hot. So Padres are my strike.
Yeah. So my strike right now. Sorry, hold on. I just lost it. My strike right now is Framber Valdez, pitcher for the Houston Astros. Talked to you the other day about it. Valdez has been a guy that I've gambled on a lot in the past. He's been a guy as of recent, I will say that I have completely stayed away from because he is pitching out of his mind. 3 of the last 5 games, he's had 10 strikeouts. At least 10 strikeouts, or maybe a little bit less, I think, in the other 2. But he also was 1 out away from a no-hitter the other night. So I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did. I didn't want to jump the gun and say it to you, but I was going to say I saw that.
I'm not gonna lie, just because of a guy that I followed a lot pitching the last couple of years, I kind of wanted to see him get the no-hitter. It really sucks that it ended the way it did, because then they did pull him right after that. I think he was at 107 pitches. So trying to get him the no-hitter, like I get it. But yeah, Framber Valdez is my strike. And again, not because I'm betting on him, just because I think he's doing a phenomenal job right now. 10 strikeouts out of the last, I think 3 of the last 5 games. So keep it up, man. And hey,
Yeah.
Houston, Trent, I know you don't want to hear this, but Houston's in first in the AL West by half game.
Yeah. Whatever.
Clawed their way back up there.
Yeah. About the no-hitter thing, Tyler, at least their manager had the balls to let their pitcher stand for the no-hitter, unlike the Pirates.
Seriously, right?
Skeens got a no-hitter. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that. I like that. So I'm gonna go to the ball, and I'm just gonna. It's I guess we've beat this down in the past. About robots and whatnot, but I'm just gonna say the umpiring. I think umpiring is pathetic. Pathetic. You might have seen some personal posts from me about hey, we need the robots. We want the robots in professional baseball, and I can't stand it because it completely can change a game. It can completely change a game because you're changing an at bat. It's a really cool graphic going around about the percent chance based on count for a batter to reach base, and it's a drastic jump in percentage just by that having that 0-1 count versus a 1-0 or having that 2-1 so it's like to me it's like when it comes down to being something that's so important to the game and we review things already as they are, and there's a review process in place that seems to work really really well in other sports, looking at if a ball is in a zone of an area, if we can track, if there is technology that can tell us what a pitch is based on what's being thrown, which there is, that's how those announcers always know what they're throwing because I had to look into that. Then we can totally tell whether or not a ball is in a strike zone, right? Let's be consistent. Let's be fair. I know people say, yeah, but it delays the game. No, games are now 2.5 hours with all the new pitch clock stuff. Let the guys tap their helmet. Let them challenge a pitch. And you know what? These umpires are going to look stupid as shit because how many freaking pitches that they call strikes outside of the zone. And I want to go one more thing with this. I don't know about you, but it drives me nuts that a ball that is it's a ball on a 3-0 count. And if it's close at all, and when I say close, it's not even close sometimes, they're going to call it.
Yeah.
They're not going to give a guy 4 straight walks and it's our 4th straight pitch walks. Drives me nuts because once again, it's like that percentage, like it's call it like it is. Just because it's a 3-0 count, that's where we're seeing the human error really, really jump. So I don't know. I'm just umpires piss me off.
Yeah. Well, because I don't feel like at least at this point, I could be wrong, but I don't know if we're saying anything Orioles wise. My ball is going to be an Orioles based ball. My ball is the Orioles injuries. Currently, right now, with pitching in particular, I know Gray Rod the other night having a little bit of lat soreness out on 15-day DL or IL. Scares me. Obviously, our starting pitching, I'd say we got a little bit better, with the trades and stuff like that, give or take. Our relief pitching and our closing pitching, that on the other hand has been atrocious as of recently. I will say this, though. I think, Trent, you had mentioned this the other day, at least in our conversation, is that you think our new closer is Dominguez for sure.
Yeah, Sir Anthony. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, especially until Batista gets back. And loved seeing him pitch the other day a little bit in the bullpen, so that was kind of nice to see.
Batista, yeah.
Who did I say?
No, I was just making sure you weren't talking to Sir Anthony.
No, I'm talking about Batista in the bullpen. Yeah. So that was nice to see. I know he's probably not going to come back this season. I know they're going to wait till it's 100%, especially with seeing what happened to Means and everybody else. But yeah, my ball is just the fact that the Orioles pitching right now is banged up, I guess to say, because I think they even sent Webb down for being hurt.
Oh man.
So and brought Baker back up. I think Webb's on a IL for another 15-day with elbow soreness. Webb was one of our go-to, relief pitchers. It's like, whew, how much more can you take? It's like, I will say this though, the fact that they're able to be tied for first right now at 68 and 48, in the AL East with the Yankees, with those injuries, like, says a lot about that team and a lot about the tenacity that they do have. I know they struggled last night with, the Blue Jays. They almost did come back in the ninth. I don't know if you saw.
Oh,
I think the final was 7-6, but the fact they're 68 and 48, still tied in first, so we're all right. But whew, man,
Tyler, to talk about the health of a lot of these pitchers, it's even not it's the whole league, man. It's the whole league.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ranger Suarez just threw a bullpen for the first time in a while for the Phillies, right?
Yep.
Look at one of your guys. I think it's Joe Ryan for the Twins.
Yeah, he was out for a while.
He's out. Yeah, so it's like
did he go out after this last?
Yeah,
after
he's
yesterday.
out. Yeah, he's out. And then Lopez for the Braves, who was top there in the right there with Chris Sale for Cy Young up there in the NL. It's like he's out with a forearm tightness. I don't know. I think to save these arms, I know we say it's a velocity thing. You need to throw so hard. Let them control the spin a little bit better. Bring back the sticky stuff.
Dude, and I'll tell you what, like,
you disagree with me on that. I know.
No, I don't disagree with you on that. I agree with the sticky stuff, but I still think there are guys using sticky stuff, and I don't understand. Maybe it's the whole sunscreen rosin thing.
I think it is.
I watched. I know pitchers are very ritualistic, I guess would be the best word. You do the same thing in and thing out. Craig Kimbrell.
Yep.
Craig Kimbrell, every pitch touches the front of his hat with his fingers, pats the back of his hat, gets set in his little weird stance, and throws.
Yep.
Every single time. And if you look at the top of his hat, there's a dark spot.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, he every team he's pitched for, it's looked like that. So
I don't know. And he's not the only one. He's just one recently I just paid attention to.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. But
yeah.
Trent, you want to give us your wild pitch?
Yeah, so I kind of have two things here. It's more of like a wild statistic to me, is that Jackson Holiday is, I believe, the first ever before their, no, I'm sorry. He joins a very impressive list of Jackson Holiday does of hitting a home run in 3 straight games before their 21st birthday. Which, by the way, we have to talk. How does he know how to use a Homer hose like that? A hydration station.
It's just for water, Trent.
Oh, okay, sorry.
The dong bong. Right. The dong bong.
Yep, dong bong hydration station. But he does join a list of guys to do it with Tatis, Soto a couple times, Stanton, Miguel Cabrera, Willie Mays, Mel Ott, like the names of these guys that have done this. Like that's good company to be in. So I just thought that was a wild statistic. The other thing, I guess it's maybe not that wild of a pitch, but with the way that the Orioles and Yankees must have like a behind closed doors agreement to like, hey, we're going to win tonight. You guys can win tonight. Hey, we're going to lose tonight. Yeah, you lose tonight. Yeah. I'm going to say that the division race will come down to the very last series of each team's season. We don't finish. The Orioles and Yankees don't finish with each other. We do have a 3-game series, I believe, second to last of the season. Okay. But the Orioles close with the Twins. So that'd be a tough one.
Yeah, that will be a tough one. Twins are a little bit tough. All right. My wild pitch. Ready? This is going to be unpopular, but I don't know. Looking at records, looking at games, looking at what's happening right now and injuries, Atlanta Braves don't make the playoffs.
Woo.
They are on a 5-game losing streak. They just got swept by the Brewers. They're sitting at 60 and 54 right now, 8 games back. They're currently in third in the NL East behind the Phillies and the Mets. Even while the Phillies have struggled as of recent, they're still way above them. But looking at teams that have better records than them in the NL, you got the Diamondbacks, Padres, Dodgers, and the Brewers. So as of right now, you would take some teams out of the NL West. Was it 3 wild card teams, correct?
Yeah, 3.
So right now it would be the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Mets would be in the wild card.
Wow.
If the season ended today. Now, again, they're not far behind the Mets. They're only a half game behind. The Mets have been known to be streaky, but at the same time, I don't know. The Braves getting spanked the way they did, last night against the Brewers. I believe it was like 16-5 or 16-7 or something like that. Whew, man. I just don't see an upside for them. And I'll be honest with you, and that's I know we mentioned pitching injuries and Strider's out, and Lopez out, but like still got Chris Sale. And Chris Sale the other night threw 10 Ks through 4.1 innings.
Ooh.
10 Ks. Now he did throw almost 100 some pitches in 4.1, but he had 10 strikeouts. So
jeez.
Yeah, dude's still on fire. But I'm going to say the Braves don't make the playoffs, and that's my wild pitch.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good wild pitch. Injury bug really got him this year, too.
For sure. But anything else?
No, man. I think like we said, this month is grinding out some hot baseball, but getting very, very close to be able to drop some football wagers moving forward. So it's exciting.
It's getting close, man. I'll be honest with you, I still have trouble betting on preseason games, so I'm still staying away from that stuff.
I did the very first night and I lost. So
I did too, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, no chance. No chance.
Hey, last thing I'd like to close with here. Olympics are almost done. August 11th, I think, is the last day. Current medal standings here. United States have 103 medals, 30 gold.
Woo.
China is in second with 73. So we are currently 30 medals better than China.
Yeah.
And we also are leading them in gold too. They have 29. We're at 30. So,
jeez, it's close.
How about that, China? And then Australia.
Tell you, you are now you're ostracizing a whole country of listeners. You get me on cities. That's the biggest. Oh my gosh.
Third medal wise is France at 54. And then UK is at 51. So
yeah. Men's basketball championship takes place on Saturday, and it is a guaranteed gold for the United States. It is Kobe Bryant Day.
Who they play?
France.
Do we know that yet? France? Okay. Yeah, they'll take
Kobe Bryant Day, 8/10/24. Kobe wore number 8. He wore number 10 on the Olympics team, and he was also finished his career obviously at number 24.
Is Tony Parker playing for the French?
That's a no.
No. So Yvonne Gordon won't be there?
No. Right now, it's the Victor Wembanyama show. He scored 41 points today in their semifinal over Germany.
I forgot he was from France.
Yeah, he's a French fella.
Not a little French fella. He's a big French fella.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
But a skinny French fella.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
all right. Well, hey, appreciate everybody listening. Trey, hopefully we see you next week.
Yeah. Hey, Trey, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, great insight.
That was awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, I didn't know he had that change of heart with the MVP and everything. Like, wow.
Good for him.
Wild. Glad he's finally come to his senses a little bit.
Yeah.
So
he has no idea you did that today, did you? Does he?
Not a clue. He has no clue.
Oh.
I didn't do anything. He called in. He told me,
That's right. If you're listening and not watching the video, tune in, get to that section. You'll understand why.
It's about 29 minutes, Trey. All right. Hey, thanks for listening. See you guys next week. Appreciate you, Trent. I'll see you then.
All right. See you, man. See you guys.
Have a good weekend.